over 240 million slices of bread are thrown away every day. That's right, 240 million. And you know what? I was part of the problem. So now I'm obsessed with finding the best method to keep my bread fresh and free of mold. And I'm going to try 4 different ways. So I bought these 4 loaves of bread at the bakery, freshly baked today, white bread. And we're going to do an experiment. Now I am going to be cutting off a slice from each of these 4 loaves every 2 days. We have the center taken out of each bread. Now it's time to package it up. So I bought this bread box off Amazon, and I got a link below if you're interested. And we're going to put in both halves of this. Oh, it fits just nice in there. Try to push them together, kind of. There we go. And then just going to put on our top. It has a nifty little thing here if you want to see what day you put it in. So let's see, it is the 7th month and the day is 23rd. There we go. And it has this, which is a valve, so if you wanted to let air in, depending on what you're actually storing, but in our case, we don't want to, so we're going to put that valve down. 1 down, 3 to go. And I have this bees wrap. It's reusable food storage, it says. Plastic free. Let's open it up. Okay, here it is. Okay, let's read a little bit about it. It says it's a natural alternative to plastic wrap made with care using beeswax, organic cotton, organic plant oil, and tree resin. And the greatest thing is it's reusable. So let's unwrap it here. Okay, some instructions. This is the extra large. I can smell honey. So, let's put it like this. Take this over this way and kind of curl it up. And wrap this over, wrap this over, like that, and like that. And then you just want to use the warmth of your hand, and that will give it the shape. There we go. Bread wrapped in bees wrap. Some people swear by the next method, rice in Pyrex. A layer of uncooked rice should absorb the moisture, just like the rice does in your salt shaker. And supposedly the rice will discourage mold and the bread stays soft. Let's try to cover this with some press and seal. There. So we have it nice and sealed up. And hopefully the rice will absorb any moisture. This is the bag it came in. We're just going to put a twist tie on the end here. And that's it. Leave it like that. Here we have all 4. The bee wrap, the bread box, the Pyrex and rice, and the natural wrapper it came in. Hi, I'm Prepper Potpourri, and I make a variety of videos to help you in your daily life. So if you'd like more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I did not grow up eating Wonder Bread like many did in my generation. My mom always baked bread, at least fresh, every other day because my father and my 2 brothers always needed to take sandwiches to work for lunch. and I needed my go-to peanut butter sandwiches for school. So we always had fresh bread, and I just loved when my mom cut off the heel when the bread was still warm and slathered butter on it. Oh, it was just so good. Talking about Wonder Bread, did you know that different types of bread will mold at different rates? You know, lean bread, like a baguette, generally dries out in 2 days. It goes stale before it can ever get moldy. And gluten-free is more susceptible to mold growth because it just doesn't have the additives that other bread might have. On the other hand, supermarket bread, which may contain fat and butter, has different additives to extend its shelf life. So, supermarket bread is going to last longer, but you got to keep your eye open for mold. Day 3, this is our bread that's just in the bag. Still feels pretty good. Okay, it's still nice and squishy. Hard crust. Looks good. Now let's unwrap our bread here. Again, nice and squishy in the middle. You might wonder why I'm slicing bread from the middle. Well, the King Arthur website suggests to cut sandwich loaves from the center out. The idea is that you can then rejoin the two halves and it'll stay fresh longer because the cut surface is not exposed. When you cut from an end, there's nothing to prevent moisture loss. Now, this method would work better with a traditional size sandwich loaves. The loaves I'm using don't necessarily fit snugly when a slice is removed. Okay, let's go check this one out. Take out one piece here and scrape off the rice on the bottom. Smells good. Again, completely fine, very moist. And lastly, a bread box. And I have never used a bread box before. I bought this one on Amazon, the link's below. It had a 4.3 rating and many people seem to love it. And a bread box should work by regulating the amount of humidity, so your bread will last longer. Well, I'd say they were all equally moist and nice crust and no mold. We'll wait again until day 5. Now, whatever you do, store your bread out of light and away from heat. And in the summer, if you live in a high humidity climate the way I do, well, your bread may be prone to developing mold spores much faster. Day 5. All the bread seemed to be fine no matter what the method. The only thing I noticed was the loaf stored in the paper original bag seemed to be just a little bit tougher to cut through. So I think the crust was getting crusty. Some experts recommend wrapping your bread well and storing it in your refrigerator, and that will extend its life. However, that bread is going to dry out faster. And that's because the chilling process allows the moisture in the bread to migrate out towards the surface. So you'd end up with stale bread, but it would be fine for toast. Just look at this mold. Well, mold is a fungus that survives by breaking down and absorbing the nutrients of the bread. The fuzzy parts of the mold are colonies of spores. And that's how they reproduce, through these spores. Now, you might wonder if you can just remove a mold spot and eat the rest of the bread, but you really shouldn't because they might still be invisible, but those mold spores are throughout the bread slice. So, which do you think is the best method? If you're like me, you're going to be surprised. Okay, 1 week. Okay. Feeling a little hard on the outside, but still moisture here. Let's see. You can see it's a little crustier to get through. Oh, but I am noticing one spot of mold right there, I think. Okay, let's check the bottoms here. Otherwise, I'm not seeing anything. Doesn't smell moldy, but I do think that's one spot. Now, you might wonder, if you remove the moldy spots, can you still eat the bread slice? Well, of course you can, but the bigger question is, should you? And the answer is no. You might not see that the mold has spread because it's a little bit invisible at this time with the roots through the rest of the slice, but it's still there. And if you have any allergies, it can create a problem. If you have any immune deficiencies, it can create a problem. And to be honest, it's just not going to taste as good. So, short answer, throw that bread away. Now let's view our rice one. Oh, can you see the mold? Yep, that didn't work. How about our beeswax one? Nope, mold starting there too. Oh yeah, and look at that side. Oh, this is the worst for the bottom. Look at that. Guess what? Not any better. In fact, it's probably worse. Just look at all the mold. Okay, we've got the results. And I learned something, that no matter what method I was using, basically mold would start on the bread at about day 6 to day 7. But the amount of moisture contained in the bread and the amount of staleness does differ depending on what method you're using. So the paper bag method grew the least amount of mold. I mean, it really had just started with a spot. And why is that? Well, I'm figuring because it's not tightly closed. There's still some air circulating, which helps the moisture decrease. And if you notice, when I was cutting it every time, it was getting a little bit crustier and crustier to cut through. So now I love a crusty crust. That's my favorite. And if the middle is still moist, well, that might be the way I keep bread, because that's what I like. But if you want to keep your entire bread soft, then that would not be the method for you. And I might not have been fair in using this bread box, because like I said, I never used a bread box before. And you can adjust the amount of air that comes in, and I didn't. I had it completely closed. And I probably overstuffed really too big a loaf for the bread box, which is fine if you're in an arid community. But if you live in an area like I do with high humidity, you do not want to overstuff. You want to have plenty of room for air to be around your loaf. So a bread box might still be a great alternative if you learn how to use it properly and get the right box and the right size loaf for wherever you live, depending on the humidity. And I was disappointed that the bee wrap didn't work better. I really like this. I like using it, and I am still going to use it, just not to wrap my bread. But it's great for leftovers instead of using one of those plastic tops, right? I can just use this on my glass dishes, and wrap other things. So I really like this. But for me, it was not the best alternative to keep my bread fresh, and definitely not mold-free. So what can you do to keep your bread mold-free? Well, we talked about the refrigerator, but your problem is bread going stale. But you can freeze your bread. The best bet is to already slice it and then wrap it really tight, put it in your freezer, and it will last for 3 months or more. And you can just take it out the night before and let it thaw out on your counter for breakfast the next morning, or you can even pop a frozen slice directly in your toaster, and you will have bread that has lasted a long, long time and is mold-free. But what about your baguette? What if it goes so stale? I mean, they go so stale so fast. Well, there is a temporary hack. You can try this. Just put your loaf under the tap and douse it with water, and then put it in a preheated 300-degree oven for maybe about 20 minutes, and then eat it right away, immediately, because in a short period of time, probably only a half hour, it will be stale again. But if that doesn't work for you, then stale bread is used in a lot of different things, such as making breadcrumbs, or the little croquettes that you need for stuffing, for Thanksgiving dressing. That's great. And my personal favorite, bread pudding. I love a good bread pudding with a good sauce. And there are other things you can do with stale bread. So if your bread just goes stale, don't throw it away. If it goes moldy, throw it out. So finding the best method for storing bread might take some experimentation. It's going to depend on how quickly you go through a loaf, the types of bread you prefer, and your kitchen temperature and humidity. So share what works for you down below. And I'm going to share with you an easy, tasty bread recipe that your family will love. It is cheesy bacon beer bread. Here we go.